Hot in the bunk beds? Not anymore. We have got aircon ducts in our van. The first thing we really need to do is cut a profile in the actual ducting so it fits nicely over the aircon unit. This way we can have maximum airflow. Then what we did is we hung the ducting just into position to give a bit of a test before we start making any major cuts in the walls of the van. And so now we have our final test fit before we begin. So what we'll do is we'll run some tests on the current temperatures experienced before we begin. So immediately with the test fit, we did get a positive result. However, one thing we noticed as part of this is there was significant condensation even after only a select number of minutes on the outside of the duct. So it caused us to rethink how to approach that particular problem before we install. Now the manufacturer actually lines the base of their aircon units with a rubber foam just to reduce the condensation. So we thought we'd perhaps use that same trick on our ducting as well. This was done by cutting a piece of rubber to size, gluing them and pulling them through before we pressed hard against the edges and let it dry overnight. Part of the aircon is relocating this light, and also we're relocating the rear speaker to actually be in the kids' room so that they can listen to some audio books while they're in the bedrooms. So you can see here we've removed the palm and we've done our little cutout, and now we've cut out the palm to match that before we start lining laying the actual tubing. Okay, so it's now in position. We've just put a bit of foam at the end here for the oversized part of the duct. We've ran it through our cuts. We've reinstalled the palms. Now I've got a joiner that I chose to actually cut this pipe to about 20 mil over so that my joiner sits flush over the cut. And then I've just got a screw to hold it all in place for another piece here. And this, likewise, I've got that cut to size so that this plate here just sits over the top before I silicone it. We've relocated that light, you can see there the cable. I've just pulled the cable out and screwed it into the ceiling a bit over, but that still functions as normal. And the other component of the relocations was the speaker, which I'm going to mount on the wall here so that the kids can listen to some audiobooks, for example, or music in their room while we're in our area and don't have to listen to it. Overall, I think it was a success. We've reduced the condensation on the pipework. It's getting airflow into the bunks where it is actually cooling, something that we weren't able to achieve before. We have now ordered some covers for these skylights in the bathroom. This room actually gets quite hot, which meant that the cold air would never have gotten to the kids' bunks. It's just unfortunate that in America, doing some research before I embarked on this particular hack, we saw a lot of RVs are designed with trusses and these type of systems in the trusses of the roofs. It's just unfortunate in Australia where we've got such heat that we don't have systems like this, but their system, they're going to a collector before it goes to your roof vent. Otherwise, we're pretty happy with it. Relatively cheap to do at a fraction of cost of putting a whole new aircon unit in the back window there, skylight, and then all the electrics around it that you've got to consider with doing that. We're still using our same system that we came with the actual van. The only modification we've done besides flipping this around slightly is also putting in a soft starter so we can run this off grid when we need to, and we get about 4 or 5 hours off our current battery packs. So overall, a success. Hopefully many others can see something like this and maybe utilize this idea for cooling their van.